new superpower bloc. China, ASEAN, and the Gulf states unite. On the 27th of May 2025, Kuala Lumpur hosted the inaugural ASEAN GCC China Summit, marking a watershed moment in the evolution of global economic alliances. This historic trilateral gathering brought together three of the most dynamic and strategically significant regional entities: the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, the Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC, and China, forming an economic coalition that spans over 2.17 billion people, 27% of the world's population, and represents nearly 30% of the world's gross domestic product, GDP. At a time when global trade is under increasing strain from protectionism and rising tariffs, particularly from the United States, this new bloc signals a pivot toward a more integrated, self-reliant, and multipolar economic order. The combined economic powerhouse, size and scale, population magnitude. The newly formed bloc is demographically immense. China, with an estimated population of 1.41 billion in 2025, China remains the world's second most populous country, having recently been overtaken by India. Despite a declining birth rate and an aging population, China's urban centers and middle class continue to drive strong consumption and economic growth. ASEAN. The 10 ASEAN nations collectively host a vibrant and youthful population of about 700 million. This demographic size makes ASEAN the third largest regional bloc by population, following India and China. With countries like Indonesia, the Philippines, and Vietnam maintaining high birth rates and expanding urbanization, ASEAN stands out as one of the most demographically dynamic regions. GCC. The 6 Gulf states account for roughly 60 million people. Though smaller in population, the GCC punches far above its weight economically due to energy exports, sovereign wealth funds, and aggressive diversification policies in countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Total estimated population, 2025, 2.17 billion, approximately 27% of the global population, which is projected to be around 8.04 billion in mid-2025. Economic output and market size. This bloc's economic weight is no less impressive. China, with a nominal GDP of approximately $21 trillion, China is a manufacturing titan, a technology leader, and the world's second largest economy. It remains central to global supply chains. ASEAN, collectively producing around $4.5 trillion in GDP, ASEAN countries are growing rapidly, driven by strong domestic consumption, export competitiveness, and foreign direct investment. GCC, with a combined GDP of $1.7 trillion, the Gulf states are leveraging energy exports while investing heavily in infrastructure, tourism, digital transformation, and renewable energy sectors. Total combined GDP, $27.2 trillion. This accounts for nearly 30% of global nominal GDP, which is projected at $90 to $91 trillion in 2025. Key outcomes of the summit. 1. Formation of a strategic economic alliance. The summit concluded with a joint statement pledging to deepen trade, investment, and financial cooperation. One of the most consequential announcements was a move toward using local currencies in cross-border transactions. This strategy seeks to reduce reliance on the US dollar and promote greater financial independence. The bloc's leaders argued this transition would enhance resilience against sanctions, exchange rate shocks, and monetary policy decisions made in Washington or Frankfurt that disproportionately affect emerging markets. Scenario 2. Expansion of the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. China underscored its commitment to further expanding the Belt and Road Initiative, focusing on infrastructure, transport logistics, and digital corridors that enhance regional connectivity. With ASEAN and GCC regions lying along the modern Silk Road, the BRI is uniquely positioned to serve as a platform for trilateral development. Key upcoming projects include port upgrades in Southeast Asia, rail links from the Middle East to Central Asia, and expanded data infrastructure connecting the three regions. 3. Promotion of digital economy cooperation. The summit announced the formation of a digital economy task force, tasked with coordinating innovation and regulation in areas such as e-commerce, fintech, AI, blockchain, and cybersecurity. China brings technological scale. ASEAN contributes youthful innovation and agility, The GCC offers capital and ambition, especially in smart cities and green digital solutions. Char 4. Energy market coordination. The GCC, as a global energy powerhouse, plays a pivotal role in the bloc's long-term economic strategy. With China and ASEAN as major energy consumers, the summit saw the establishment of a joint energy coordination platform to stabilize pricing, manage supply security, and accelerate investment in renewable energy partnerships. Strategic implications for the world economy. Multipolar shift. The creation of the ASEAN GCC China bloc is perhaps the clearest indication yet of the world's transition away from Western-centric economic systems. The bloc's pursuit of financial sovereignty, digital independence, and infrastructure self-sufficiency presents a countermodel to the US and EU-dominated global order. De-dollarization momentum. The move to promote local currency usage and trade has broader implications for the global financial system. While the US dollar will likely remain dominant for the foreseeable future, the erosion of its exclusivity could accelerate, especially if other BRICS or Global South nations follow suit. TASC, a new center of global demand. With a combined 2.17 billion consumers, this bloc forms the largest single demand-side entity outside India. It includes the world's largest middle class in China, some of the youngest, fastest-growing consumer bases in Southeast Asia, and high-income, energy-rich states in the Gulf. This makes the bloc a prime destination for global investment, product innovation, and trade diversification. Challenges ahead. Despite the optimism, several obstacles remain. Regulatory divergence between China, ASEAN, and GCC countries could hinder integration. Geopolitical instability, especially in the Middle East and South China Sea, poses risks. Technological gaps and digital sovereignty concerns could complicate efforts at seamless connectivity. Nonetheless, the bloc's shared strategic interests, complementary economies, and growing interdependence suggest that these challenges are manageable, particularly with strong institutional coordination. Conclusion: the ASEAN GCC China bloc, now representing 2.17 billion people, 27% of the world's population, and over $27 trillion in economic output, has emerged as a formidable new axis in global trade and finance. Its formation reflects not just a reaction to Western protectionism, but a proactive vision for a more resilient, self-sufficient, and cooperative economic future. As the bloc continues to expand its initiatives, from de-dollarization to digital integration, from energy cooperation to infrastructure development, its global footprint will grow. This new superpower bloc is poised not only to shape the 21st century economy, but to redefine the very frameworks through which the world does business. For a more detailed analysis, you can watch the following video. Note, the video provides an in-depth exploration of the summit's outcomes and their potential impact on global economic dynamics. A heartfelt light. To every soul whose hand did give, you've helped me dream, helped me live. In darkest hours your light came through, with hearts so kind, so pure, so true. Your gifts, like stars in deepest night, have steered me gently toward the light. Each coin, each word, each silent prayer, a thread of hope so rich, so rare. My eyes once dimmed now seek the skies, and slowly clearer visions rise. Because of you, I dare to see the world again, its grace, its plea. Your compassion's flame will not just stay with me alone. It lights the way for others wandering through despair to feel the warmth of selfless care. You've shown what love in action means, in quiet ways through giving scenes. You've built a bridge from soul to soul and made the broken feel more whole. So let this thanks rise like a song, a melody both soft and strong. May your example gently call more hearts to rise to give. To fall into the joy of lifting pain, of planting hope where none remains. Your kindness walks beside me still, a light, a love, a living will.
don't forget to hit that subscribe button to show your support.